My name is Dakota. I am a 16-year-old boy who lives in the state of Michigan. I have both a mother and father who love me very much, and it's thanks to them that I live a happy life. Now, a lot of you are probably looking at the title of this video and thinking, a 16-year-old boy with a good family, good opportunity, and high potential in life. Yet, he's about to tell us what the biggest problem is with a highly complex nation, diverse population, during a time where the American people have never felt more divided. I understand many of you wouldn't give it a chance. But for those of you who are staying, all I can say is listen to me to the end. For what I'm about to tell you is a true story about my own life. I mentioned before that I have a good mother and good father, but not only are they good parents, but they're also married. Already, this fact makes me different from over 30% of American children. 30%. That means 24 million children in the nation do not have parents that are together. To make me even more different from the children of this nation, my father is the greatest man in the world. But what do I mean by the greatest man in the world? When my dad was married to his first wife in the early and mid 1990s, he had a daughter named Nicole. But the family didn't last. My father's first wife ran off on my dad to be with another man, leaving my father to take care of an 8-year-old daughter. When the divorce happened, my father lost the farm he was living on and he had bought with his own money. Despite this, when he sold it, his ex still got approximately 30% of the money the farm sold for. After the divorce, my father went to live with his parents, but my dad's life didn't get better. His mother was blind and was on kidney dialysis. You name a health problem, and she had it. She passed away from a heart attack not long after. Then his father went into the hospital, and so did my father because of pneumonia. All of this was within a span of no more than a year. Luckily, him and his father recovered. Unfortunately, though, Nicole hung out with her friends so often that my father never really got to see her. But in 2005, my dad purchased 640 acres of land out in North Dakota. This huge land investment was the smartest investment my whole family has ever made. My father met my mother because she was a banker who helped him get the land in North Dakota. So I guess it only seemed fit to name their son Dakota, as it was thanks to Dakota that they were able to meet in the first place. Nicole was very happy to hear that she was going to be a sister. She was obsessed with me. This in turn let my dad see her more often. Everything was finally improving after years of hell. My dad has a family again, 2 kids, a wife, a very healthy father, and overall a good break from what he did just experienced. On December 28th, 2009, my sister was driving to work one day when she crossed an icy bridge. She lost control of the vehicle and she slammed right into the ditch. Nicole was only 18 years old. The death of my sister was a huge blow to the whole family, but especially my father. She was his oldest, only daughter, but most of all, she was his child. A special person that no one in the world wants to live longer than is their own child. Despite this, my father never turned to alcohol, drugs, or anything like that. In fact, I have never witnessed my father drink. I don't know if he's ever had alcohol in his life. Why would someone to have appeared lost everything still maintain what he believes? Because his 3-year-old son still needed him. I was only 3 at the time. I knew Nicole had passed away, but I never really processed what that meant exactly. I still needed my dad. Even to this day, my dad will not tell you he's lived a bad life. He will not tell you that God is against him, because he feels blessed to still have a wife and his son. He still kept going in the face of overwhelming odds. Now I will ask you a question. Can you confidently say that your father will do the same? Having a father like mine should not be a privilege, but a basic human right. I know very well that my father will tread through endless hell just for me. And I knew my father misses his daughter more than what this video will ever put into words. What happened to fathers like mine? What happened to them? You never hear stories of fathers doing this for their children. You almost never do. It is always about abuse and not being there for them when they really needed them. A father who is always there for his kids to teach them the right from wrong, to let them know that he will always be there for them. 19.5 million children in the United States alone live without their father in their lives. That is more than 25%. Almost 20 million. Not a single child in the nation, let alone the world, deserves to live their life without their father. Yet 20 million children do not on a daily basis in the nation alone. But why do fathers matter so much? This question is unfortunately getting harder and harder to answer for my own generation. But unlike the majority of my generation, I do know the effects of not having a father, even though my father is the greatest father who will ever live. A child who doesn't have an involved father is 4 times greater at risk of poverty, more likely to have behavioral problems, 2 times greater risk of dying as an infant, more likely to go to prison, more likely to commit crime, 7 times more likely to get pregnant as a teen, more likely to face abuse and neglect, more likely to abuse drugs and alcohol, 2 times more likely to suffer obesity, 2 times more likely to drop out of school. But out of all of these statistics, the scariest statistic on here is the fact that 63% of all child suicides are fatherless. There's even more statistics, but not just for the children, but also for the mother. Mothers with less involved fathers are more likely to smoke and drink during pregnancy, more likely to suffer postpartum stress, and most likely to have a miscarriage. Not everyone who is fatherless is involved in these statistics. But these statistics aren't made by feelings. They are not my opinions. They are not made up. As much as I wish they were, but they're true. They go for the majority of the people who are fatherless. This is a crisis, an American crisis. America leads the world in fatherlessness with its 25%. This is America's biggest crisis. It's ruining the lives of literal millions of children who do not deserve to live without their father. I made this video because many of my friends have suffered from this. But it's mainly because no child deserves to live without their father. Every child on the planet deserves a father like mine, who never gives up on their kid and will do anything to protect them. If you're still watching this, I ask you to spread this message. If you're my age, you're fatherless, and you find that you're involved in one of these statistics, I ask that you seek help and you continue to tell people of this danger. If you're a mother or are planning on being one, marry a man who promises to be there for your kids. A man who doesn't want a wife or a girlfriend for the short term, but a family for the long term. As for the fathers out there who are largely absent in your kids' lives, I ask you to try and include yourself in their lives as much as you can. Because mothers need you. Because your family needs you. Because America needs you. Because your children need you. Because we need you.